Hey Algebra 2, we're going to take what we learned yesterday and we're going to build upon that. So we learned that sometimes a graph has a maximum if it looks like this. If it opens down, this means that A is a negative number, and it has a minimum value if it opens up, and that means A is a positive value. So if A is positive, it opens up, and if A is negative, then it opens down. Here we have a min, and here we have a max. So if it says find the minimum or the maximum, the first thing you have to do is use negative b over 2a to find the x-coordinate of the vertex. And then we're going to sub that in to find the y-coordinate of the vertex. So you need to know that minimum and maximum mean what is the y-coordinate of your vertex. All right, so there's A, B, and C. So the first thing that we're going to know is that A is a positive number, so therefore it opens up. And this will definitely have a minimum. So we're going to use the formula negative b over 2a. So b is negative 6, so that means that that's a positive 6 now. Over 2 times 3. 6 divided by 6 equals 1. We're going to plug that in for x. And so we switched it up and we're using function notation today. So that is my x value right there. So we want to know what is the value of the function when x is 1. So we would write that as f of 1. And then we're going to plug 1 into those two x's right there as well. 3 times 1 squared minus 6 times 1 plus 7. F of 1 equals, let's see, that's a 3 minus 6 plus 7. And that all adds up to 4. That means the coordinates of my vertex are 1, 4. And so whether I have a min or a max is all about the y of the vertex. And we already said that it was a minimum because A is positive. And so I have a min at 4. On the second one here, so there's my A term, my B term, and my C term. Feel free to put a 1 there if that makes you understand it better. Now we have A as a negative number. That means your graph opens down. That means I'm going to have a maximum on this one. We run the formula negative b over 2a. So b is negative 2. That changes that to positive 2. Over 2 times negative 1. 2 divided by negative 2 equals negative 1. That's your x value. I'm going to plug it in to my function up above. So f of negative 1 means I have negative 1 squared minus 2 times negative 1 plus 100. You can plug this string directly into your calculator, and that will probably get you the best answer. Order of operations says that you have to square a number first. So negative 1 squared equals positive 1. But positive 1 times this negative out in front means that is negative 1. Negative 2 times negative 1 is plus 2 plus 100. And that equals 101. So if I put these two parts together, I have a vertex at -1, 101. It's all about the y-coordinate of your vertex. We said that I had a maximum earlier. So I have a max at 101. You can try 3 and 4 on your own and check my online notes to see if you got that correct. Let's do a couple of word problems. A ball is shot from a cannon into the air with an upward velocity of 40 feet per second. The equation that gives the height of the ball at any time is -16t squared plus 40t plus 1.5. Find the maximum height attained by the ball, and how long did it take to reach that height? All right, so I have two things. Let's see, the first one. This 40 is that 40 right there, so that is not pertinent information. You're already given it within the equation. If you wanted to draw a little sketch, time is always your x-axis, and your height of the ball is your y-axis. That 1.5, that's your constant. That is always your y-intercept. So we are starting with the cannon 1.5 feet above the air. I know that A is negative, so since A is a negative number, that means your graph opens down, and that means that I will have a maximum. So the ball is going to shoot up, and it's going to land right about there. We don't care when it lands. It's all about when did it reach the maximum height. Maximum height is code for you need to find the vertex. So the x part of the vertex is the time that it took to reach the maximum height. So that's actually the second one. How long did it take to reach the maximum height? So we're going to do the formula -b over 2a. So your b is 40, so I have -40 over 2 times -16. -40 divided by -32. I am going to switch this into a decimal. So that is 1.25. And it's in time, and it said somewhere earlier that it was seconds. So it took 1.25 seconds to reach the maximum height. So step 1 actually answers part 2. So this is 1.25. We want to know how high did it get. So that means that we are taking that 1.25 and we are plugging it in place of time, and that is how we're going to find our height. So the maximum height is -16 times 1.25 squared plus 40 times 1.25 plus 1.5. It is best if you just run that entire string in your calculator, and you should get 26.5 feet, and that is the maximum height of the ball. Number 6 is the same thing, just with different numbers in it. So try that one and check my answers online. All right, so this is kind of the same as number 5, but it asks a different question at the end. So we have the same equation. It says, how high is the ball at 2 seconds. So this tells you what the time is. So we want to find the height at 2 seconds. So this is in function notation. So this just basically says, all right, now this time, everywhere you see a t, we're going to plug 2 in right there and there. So I have negative 16 times 2 squared plus 40 times 2 plus 1.5. I ran that string of numbers in my calculator, and I got 17.5. So it's 17.5 feet at 2 seconds. And then number 8 is something similar to number 7. So give that one a try and check my online answers.